we're going to begin. And if you have any questions with regards to relationship or your marriage or relationship with kids, I will be happy to answer any of your questions. So hello, friends. And I would like to answer some of your questions and some of your comments. And the most read comment this week was, Alisa, there's no way I can quit job or work part-time because in this economy, there is no way a man can afford to pay for bills and mortgage and insurance and etc. My friends, I understand that economy is not the best this past year or even couple of years. But I will be honest with you, me and my husband, we are middle class, like you friends, and we're doing it. But yes, we used to go to vacations 2, 3 times a year. Now we go only once or twice a year. We used to go to the restaurants every week. Now we go maybe only once a month or at the most twice a month. We used to do Starbucks every day. We used to take our son to all kinds of entertainment 2, 3 times a week and different classes. And now we're budgeting. But it's so worth it, my friends, if you can just trust the process and budgeting things. And obviously not wearing Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, then you can do it, my friends. But if you want to have a luxury lifestyle, of course, then you and your husband have to work in order to have this luxurious lifestyle. But if you want to have a relationship, healthy relationship with your kids, with your husband, then you got to start shifting to feminine energy. And feminine women do not work. And some of the comments that I also read was, I've been living, hold on, let me read it. Working is feminine, but money is for you and not your man. Yes, if a woman makes money, it's not a husband's money, it's her money. But let's be here and unfold a couple of misunderstanding that working is feminine. No, working is masculine. Making decisions is masculine. Being in a budget at home and figuring out all of the decisions, where to buy a house, how to pay for mortgage, all of this masculine energy. So ladies, please don't think that if you're gonna go to work full time and be working woman, successful, career oriented, independent, radical feminist, that your man would wanna provide for you. He will look at you as a competitor. He looks at you as a guy friend. He looks at you as a man and he competes with you. And he has no desire to provide and to protect. And so you have to understand men. I always say, for a man to be happy with woman, he really needs to love her a lot and understand her a little bit, because women are very complicated. But for you ladies to be happy with men, you have to understand men a lot. But you can love him little, but respect him a lot. And so we ladies judge men based on ourselves. We don't understand their psyche, the way they are, the way they function. If you battle men, if you argue with men, and if you demand you have to pay for bills, there is no way he would want to do that. You become feminine, soft, gentle, kind, nurture him and your family, take care of kids, cook him meals. And men will be naturally would want to go to work and provide and protect your family. But you cannot demand, because some of you ladies saying, that's it, I'm going to quit job because you said my man is a roommate. And now I'm going to demand him to pay for bills. He will never pay bills this way. My friends, changes don't happen overnight. You have to work on yourself to become feminine, so your man will have a desire to even pay for bills. So please, don't collapse this, that you're going to demand like you're demanding things from your kids, and the same thing will work with husband. Not a single masculine man who respects himself would gonna appreciate this tone. If he really respects himself, he's gonna continue to distant, and at some point he will walk away, because men will not put up with this kind of behavior from a woman. So please, ladies, know that. And so for now, I would like to hear some of your comments and some of your questions. Let's see. You are from which country, please? I'm living in United States for the past 27 years. So please, my friends, even though you hear my Eastern European accent, don't judge me that I do not understand how things are run in United States or Western Europe, okay? So, where's the best to keep relationship perfect? What's the best way to keep relationship perfect? That's what all of my videos and programs are about, my friends. We women, it's our duty, it is our responsibility to keep femininity in a family. What do I mean by femininity? You're kind, you're soft, you're gentle, you're loyal, and you take care of the family, meaning you're not going to work and make money to help your husband, but you nurture kids, your husband, yourself. You're keeping this happy, loving energy at home. This is our biggest duty and responsibility. And so, woman should not be successful. Her success in her relationship with husband and kids. And this is the most difficult job, by the way. And how you can do it if you do not work, or if you work a little bit part time. Because I understand in California, New York City, it's hard for a man to afford to pay for everything. That's why I say move. Why would you even stay in California and New York City when everything is so ridiculously expensive? But if you choose to stay, yes, in the cities, you will have to work probably part-time to help him out. But this is not an ideal, because when you work even part-time, you're stressed, you're exhausted. And when a woman works, sooner or later, she is dealing with mental problems, emotional, physiological, psychological, all kinds of problems. She deteriorates and she becomes sickly. And no man wants to be with a sick woman, whether it's mental or physiological problems. And that's why, ladies, you belong at home. But if you think you can be successful, make money, and independent, and at the same time have a happy relationship. I'm not a Tony Robbins, and I am against go be successful and motivate you to make money and lie to you that you can be happy in a relationship, because you will never be feminine woman if you work and make a work a priority. And there will be cost on your husband and your kids. So please know that. I'm single and I want to know how to be feminine to attract a provider husband. 90% of my videos are about that. Please take your time to jump on my TikTok or on my YouTube, and you will understand that you cannot just be feminine by listening to me. It helps. But in order to be truly feminine, you have to start spiritual practices. If you're Christian, it's not just going to church, but that means you do either affirmation or better prayer every day in the morning, and building your relationship with Jesus, God, Creator, however you want. Stay in your faith. If you're Muslim, pray to Allah. If you are Hindu, you pray to Krishna, or you do mantra, or you do affirmations, some kind of spiritual practices. But if you don't do any, you will not be feminine, because the world is so masculine. All women are around us are masculine and career oriented. And you're telling me constantly, unless you are masculine woman, you cannot empower other people. Well, I understand that right now I am in my masculine energy in order to have a conversation with you. But I will do that once a week for an hour to be with you, or to record a video. The moment I'm done, that's it. I'm going to do my spiritual practices again in order to fully shift back to femininity. Because in this tone, I don't talk to our son or my husband. You have to understand this. So again, if you're interested to know how to do spiritual practices, you can find my long programs on YouTube, where I teach how to meditate, how to pray, how to do affirmations, and start with affirmation. If you never prayed before, start with affirmations, wishing everyone happiness, and I go step by step telling you how. Because if you're just going to read the book and listen to me here, it's going to make 1% difference. And 1% difference not going to take you far. In this DNA, in our modern society, and people are so degraded that without the help of Creator, you won't be feminine. Yeah, unfortunately, that is the case. That's how bad things are right now. I am freshly retired and I'm totally getting in touch with my feminine energy. Thank God. Thank God for you as well. Wonderful, because this is the way to go. Yeah, it's never late. But people sometimes ask me, when is the best time to start meditating or praying or doing the affirmation? Ideally, until you're 39 years old. Why? Because even though our physiological body is not growing, our mental state is still continue to grow and to expand. And the second best time is to do it at least by age 59. Because again, even though at this point our body is starting to really deteriorate really fast, but our mind continues to grow and we can still create new neurons. But after 65, I will say, it's late. You still can do it, but I've noticed my husband has two grandmothers in our town. And when I talk to them about spirituality, they're like, yeah, I talk to God when I'm walking around subdivision. Well, and again, in Christianity, people just talk to God. But walking and talking to God is, how will I say, the time your relationship with creator shouldn't be while you're in the gym or while you're driving or while you're walking. You have to be still. And again, changing somebody when they're in their 70s or 80s is pretty impossible. So my friends, it's never late, and it's definitely not late for you. Okay, so I'm very proud of you. I am 51 and I want a man to take care of me. By the way, you see, most of the women tell me, one will never find a rich man. Rich men are out there, are greedy, or they're not enough rich men for all of us women. My friends, my husband is not rich. And I would not even want to be rich or have a rich husband, because rich people typically tend to be with rich people and they have all kinds of other problems. The richer they are, the more problems they have. Honestly, I worked with them for over 20 years. And so we have to desire to have a good man, to have a good woman. And good means he's a provider, leader, and protector. And for a woman to be good, she's feminine, she's loyal, she's compassionate, she's kind, she's taking care of kids and you and family. She's happy and she's loving. And these are the two categories of a good man and a good woman. But the only way we can attract a good man or a good woman is only through spiritual practices. God is doing his job. He's not silly. If you've been breaking men's heart or women's heart, you've been cheating, you've been lying, you've been stealing, you've been hurting other people, using psychology to dominate or use women for sex or men for money, God is not silly. He's not going to send you a good man and good woman. So you really got to repent. You really got to do mantras, meditation, affirmations, prayer in order to love yourself. Because we walking around demanding like, come on, I am a good woman. I deserve a good man. If you don't have a good man next to you, that means you are not a good woman. And you have to face yourself in the mirror every day and really work on yourself, because we get what we deserve. But I promise you, even if you're going to start working on yourself today, slowly by surely, you're going to start shedding off this masculine energy, this pain that you cause to people, and healing. Then you're gonna get a good man. Again, creator sends you a good man. It's not you walking around the bars or the gyms and finding good men. Please know that's a blessing from our creator. So this is how you can find a good man who will take care of you. It doesn't matter whether you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, whether you have 4 or 5 kids. Because feminine men will say, I don't want woman with kids. I don't want single mom. I don't want woman in my 50s. But a good man will take care of you no matter how old are you. But you need to deserve to get this good man or good woman. And so instead of just trusting me, do the work. Connect to our creator. And it's not like just talking to him, please send me good man, send me good woman. No, you gotta do the prayer, you gotta do the meditation, or you gotta do mantra or affirmation and learn about our creator. And that's how you build a relationship with him. And then you will deserve a good partner. That's the way it works, my friends. I provide, I lost it. Let me get back. 1 second, friends. Oh, wow. Let me see. I provide 100% and I love it despite all the challenges. Yes, This is a true man talking. Mm, you are so rare right now. And when a man provides like that, he feels so confident. I am a true masculine man. I'm a provider. I'm a protector. This is a warrior. And any woman will fall for you because you walk around with energy of confidence. Because you respect yourself, anyone around you gonna respect you. Admire you. Ah, so proud to see men like that. That's beautiful. Is it also occur for not really pretty girls? Yes. And I shared that story before. Many years ago, I had a famous hockey who used to come for therapy to me. He was dealing with chronic pains and other problems. Not going to talk about him. And then one time, I was walking in downtown Atlanta, and all of a sudden, I see him with his wife. And my jaw dropped because she was not a sexy, beautiful woman. And I was surprised. Wow, good looking, handsome hockey player making millions. And she is just simple girl. But the moment he introduced us and the moment she said hello, I understood why he's with her. Everything about her was feminine. Her beauty, inner beauty, was radiating so much love, so much compassion and kindness and happiness that any man would fall in love with her. So absolutely, you don't have to be pretty, you don't even have to be sexy. The beauty is inside. And right now, any man who would see a feminine woman, he'll be like, wow, because they're so hungry for this love, nurture, compassion, empathy, femininity. Because men are liking that. They cannot create that. They cannot generate that. That's why they need women. They don't need your career. They don't need your money to help them out. That's how they degrade. They just want to be appreciated, admired, acknowledged, and loved and respected. And when you're feminine, that happens naturally. So, yes, you don't need to be even pretty or sexy to be with a provider and protector. Let's see. How do you show a man respect? Good question. For example, sometimes my husband and I talk, and I don't agree with him. And I really don't agree with him. Sometimes, when it comes to raising our child, we might have our differences once or twice a year. And even though I disagree, I keep it quiet. I keep it quiet because inside I'm burning. Because if I'm stubbornly gonna fight or argue with him, it shows my disrespect. I will go meditate. I'm gonna do my spiritual practices, and 2, 3 days later, I'm gonna gently feed him. And after dinner, when he does this, when he is full. That's the only time when we can actually talk to man. When we're calm, when we're happy, and then I say, honey, do you remember we talked about 2, 3 days about education of our son? I have a slightly different opinion. And I'm gonna start slowly sharing my opinion. And as I'm sharing, I'm putting the seed in his mind. So what I'm trying to say, we don't battle. We don't argue. We're not dominating. We're not controlling. We're not demanding pay bills. We're not demanding go provide. We're not demanding that criticizing or putting him down. That's how we respect man. We trust, we respect, and we surrender when they're saying their opinion. Even if we don't agree, we wait. We wait a day or two until we come down, until we are in a good mood, and we gently start putting our opinion in and not being attached that right away you're going to change his mind. It takes me sometimes weeks and sometimes months to really get my husband on my side. What do I think about education of our son? And sometimes in certain things, it might take even a year. And a woman, a feminine woman, shows respect by being patient. And a woman respects a man when she acknowledges him, when he provides and protects her. And acknowledgement has to be not once in a while, every day. And you tell him that by telling him, honey, I acknowledge you. You're so strong. Thank you for providing for me. Thank you for taking us to restaurants. Thank you for paying for bills. And you feed him and you cook meals for him, and not like getting in the microwave the box from Whole Foods or Publix and you put that in the microwave and serve your husband. This is not respect. You got to know your duties. I hope that understands and helps you, friends. Really good question. How to handle when men get nervous around me, not my intent. When a man gets nervous, maybe about job, maybe about something is going on in his life, get out of his way. Give him time to cool off. And maybe you go for a walk, and maybe you go listen to your music and do your things. You're not a therapist to fix his problems. You wait until he comes down. And once he comes down, you can gently talk about it, but not when he's boiling down, not when he's angry, and not when he's nervous. So imagine that you are um, in the ocean and there's a shark around you and it's swimming around you. You're not going to swim towards the shark, right? Because there's a chance that the shark going to bite you, even though sharks don't really like us, but this is just an analogy. You're going to really hide somewhere, or you're going to start gently swimming away to the shore. But when a man is nervous, when a man is in a bad mood, when he's angry and frustrated, don't try to come close to him, because you're going to get some of his anger, frustration, or nervousness. And this is not our problem to fix their problems. You give him time and space. Walk away. Get out of his way. Good question. I'm not working. Man provides for me. Excellent. I want to hear more of that on my channel, more and more. So proud of you. Good job. Can your boyfriend move in your house? And how you're going to do it when it comes to expenses? Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry for my reaction. No, you should not move in with your boyfriend, and boyfriend should not definitely move in with you. Because if a boyfriend moves in with you, you're doing the duties of a wife by cooking, by organizing, doing laundry, sleeping with him, having sex with him. All of that are duties of a wife. If you're doing the duties of a wife with your boyfriend, he will never propose to you. He will never marry to you. But we women think, let me show him how good I am as a cook, how good I am doing 50-50 paying and doing the mortgage and doing sex with him and doing laundry, and he will marry me. Because we women, when we do something for our girlfriend reciprocates, because we have this feeling of, I need to return the favor back. And that's how we deal with girlfriends. Men don't function this way. If you're sleeping with him, if you're cooking for him, if you're doing 50-50, splitting the bills, he thinks, thank you, thank you. Good woman. Yeah, yeah. But it doesn't mean that he will marry you. He just thinks you like doing it. You like having sex. You like cooking. You like doing laundry. He doesn't know that you're investing, hoping that he will get married and marry you. Men don't function. He'll just say, oh, thank you. Thank you. You like doing it. So no, no living with boyfriend. Not definitely allowing him to move in with you. If you have self-respect, and if you're a confident woman, you're not gonna even have sex with a boyfriend until you get a ring. And when you get a ring, you can start talking about when there'll be a date of a wedding. And before the wedding, or at least when you got a ring, you can have sex, but not earlier than that. But right now in the society, everything is rushed. Let's get fast, let's bang, and hopefully him gonna get married and give me a wedding ring. No, my friends. Men don't function this way. Keeping tradition values alive. Thank you for the hearts, my friend. Yes, because right now we took foundation of spirituality, got away. We replaced it with movies, with sex, with TV, music, and all kinds of porn. And we're hoping that we're gonna get a good man or a good woman and have a family and a healthy relationship. No, my friends, no. Get back to tradition. You gotta have faith. You gotta have relationship with Creator. You gotta have principles in life. And on those principles and values, you can build a healthy relationship and marriage and family. Otherwise, forget about it. Just don't lie to yourself that you're gonna meet a good man if you are chasing money, career, getting Gucci's and Versace's and Dolce and Gabbana and driving a nice car and hoping that just because you're sexy and beautiful, have a hair and nails and good clothes, that you're going to find a man who will provide and protect. No, my friends. No, just outside beauty is good for him to get attracted and have sex with you, but doesn't mean that he will commit to you. Please know that. Can your boyfriend? Oh, okay. Facts. I earn twice as much as my husband. Should I quit my job? By the way, this was the case first year of me and my husband when we were dating. And I was back then in a lot of masculine energy. And I've noticed the more I'm in my masculine energy, the more he's distancing from me. And that's when I start to really doing a lot of research and getting into spiritual world and detaching from work. By the end of the first year, I went from working 20 hours a week, even though I never worked full time, to 4 hours a week. The moment I start working 4 hours a week and making less income, our relationship and dating started to become really, really healthy. So, my friends, if you want to have a healthy relationship with men, especially husband, you should definitely have a lower income. And ideally, you want to work part time or not work at all. But don't change overnight. If you work full time, start working part time. If you work part time, start working 5, 10 hours a week. And then eventually, get to a point of not working or working 1 to 2 hours a day. Because if you work only 1, 2 hours a day, not because you need to earn money and help your husband, because you really want to, it's your mission in life, it's your contribution to society, women, environment, kids, whoever, you feel good. Because this is a contribution, you're being of service to society, to women, to kids, men, etc. But if you're doing it for money, you are in your masculine energy and your relationship will be bumpy. Men don't like masculine, career oriented, independent women. Only feminine men adjust to it in order to make a relationship work. But then eventually he'll lose interest in you because he's gonna see you as a mother figure, and your sexual desire gonna diminish because you're gonna be looking at him as your son, and you will not have respect because he's not earning enough more than you. So, good question. How to handle when man gets nervous? Oh, I already answered. Friends, don't ask me the same question 2, 3 times. Can your boyfriend, again, you see, don't do that, my friends. I want to be stay at home wife, but don't feel safe with his thoughts. My friend, safety doesn't come from a man. Safety comes from above. When you do daily spiritual practices, you start to feel safe and secure. And when you become safe and secure and happy, because happiness, love, and security comes from above, as you're shifting, your man start to mirroring you and he's shifting as well. That's the way it works. Good question. His provider just started his business but not willing to work side job improve his life. Yes, my friends, if you have an idea that one work is not enough to cover expenses and he needs to get a second job, in the background, he feels that you have this hidden agenda and he will resist. The only way a woman can influence her man to change, to start becoming masculine and make more income and become successful, provide and protect her, if you gently appreciate him and acknowledge him, when you respect him and loving him. And you cannot fake it by me telling you that you won't be able to do that, because you have to become spiritual and kind authentically. And when you kind authentically and accept him the way he is, and then gently appreciate and acknowledge him, and that will take time, he will have desire to start earning more. But if you have this hidden agenda and you constantly poke him, he'll resist and he's not gonna change and he's not gonna earn more. Because probably it's already stressful for him to run business. And now on top of it, getting a second job, consider you being selfish there. What is there for him? Are you acknowledge him? Do you respect him? Do you admire him? Do you love him the way he wants to be loved for him to do that? That's the question for you to answer. Yeah. I feel really exhausted living as a woman in Germany. Yeah, I hear that a lot, my friends, that women right now in Europe are overwhelmed and stressed because men are definitely not providing in Germany, right? And men are overwhelmed there as well. I remember when I was in Paris, people had 2 or 3 jobs, and it doesn't matter, men or women, in order to somehow to pay their rent and bills and etc. And so people were very resigned, very cynical, especially in Paris. And so in big cities like New York City, in San Francisco, in Moscow, in Germany, big city, people are hardly can keep up with expenses. And so maybe you can just reconsider to start looking. Maybe there's a way for you to move. If it's impossible, again, start spiritual practices, because then creator God himself opens the door for you to see. Maybe you will meet a man who is not German. Maybe he's from somewhere else who is a provider and protector. Maybe you're gonna find some kind of a part-time job that is happy you can make money for now until you're single. So again, that you will be able to sustain your life. But again, without spiritual practices, you're just dreaming and hoping. And dreaming and hoping, it's great, but it's not going to bring you the results. You got to start taking action. Yeah, good question. And thank you for sharing authentically. All right. A man saved me money to assist with business and wanted back because I did not sleep with him, and then gave me money to assist with business. Yeah, good question. You see, friends, when we're dating or when we know someone, especially men, and when they give you money, expensive vacations, diamonds, or expensive gifts, they are hoping to get something in return. And mostly men want in return your sex. And so if you're not willing to sleep with a man, don't take money or expensive gifts. Give him this money back. Yeah. So if you took this money back and things did not work out, you don't want to sleep with him, talk to him. I'll give you money back in a month or two, and start giving him back. Because again, you cannot take expensive gifts from a man unless he's your husband, or at least he is your fiance who is taking full responsibility for you. But he's a stranger man. Don't take anything from a man. And otherwise, you're going to feel that you owe him. And in this case, he feels like you owe him. So return his money back. Good question. Can your boyfriend move in? Okay. I'm single. I'm working part time. I don't want to work. Now I need a full time job for benefits. I want to share with you my story, not my story, two of my girlfriends, one in her 30s, one in her 40s, working full time. And I say, why do you work full time? Because you have a husband. Both have husbands. And husbands make good money. And they're constantly telling me, because of benefits, because what if we're going to have health problems? What are we going to do in United States? Friends, I understand that being in the hospital in the United States is a big problem. But we don't have this crazy benefits because my husband is working for a very small company. We pay for insurance and we'll be fine. Because if you have fear that something going to happen with you or your kids, something will happen to you. But if you do spiritual practices and you trust higher power, nothing will happen to you. You just need to get a regular insurance, and that's it. And so stop being a slave to these benefits, or stop being slave for 401k. Let go of that, because 401k not going to give you the money that you were dreaming all your life. And then you're wasting all your years to work for corporation or the company, and you're miserable there for benefits or 401k. Let go of that. Let go. And so again, work part-time, do spiritual practices, and you're going to start attracting a good man. They're there, but there's only 10% of them. And only 10% of feminine women get those 10% of masculine men. But right now, as a society, we have 90% of masculine women who are career and work oriented. And we have 90% feminine men who don't want to be responsible for woman, family, and kids. And so society is degraded. If you want to have a good man, you have to do the work to attract him. They're there, but they're rare. So as feminine women. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, let me see what's going on here on the YouTube channel. So give me 1 second, because people are asking me questions here too. I'm single. I work full time. I want a feminine lifestyle and marry a provider, but I'm masculine. How do I become feminine and how much time will it take be ready to attract a masculine man? I answered that question, Jasmine, earlier. But approximately for a woman who is masculine, it takes between a year to 2 years to become feminine. It all depends how often you're going to do spiritual practices. Are you going to do it every day for 15, 20 minutes a day, or you're going to do it once a week for 5 minutes a day? I recommend once or twice a day for at least 5 minutes, and then it naturally going to increase to 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and ideally you want to get to 30 to 45 minutes a day in the morning when you wake up. And then you're going to start shedding off this masculine energy fast. But if you're going to wake up and all of a sudden start doing 45 minutes prayer, after a month, you're gonna feel so much bliss. But at the same time, after that month of bliss, a week later, you're gonna go to a major breakdown and you'll say, never again. So that's the danger. Don't start overdoing it. Slowly. Changes happen slowly. So I hope that will help. I'm single and 38. What do you think about going to school and feeling like my worth is tied to success? Thanks, Alisa. Yes, we're in the society, friends, where men have feel success through results. But when we are in school, middle school, elementary school, high school, all the teachers in the Western Europe and America, Germany, you name it, tells us, good girl, you got A. Good girl, you got a good grade. Good girl, through results. And then as we grow up, we feel like if I don't have a job, if I don't make money, I'm a bad girl. But this is how man's supposed to be raised. You cannot just say man because he has good looking eyes or six pack. You got to tell man a compliment, admiration, and acknowledgement for his results. And what are his results? He's working, he's providing, he's bringing bacon home, he's playing with son basketball, football, soccer, for actions, for results. But woman is not supposed to be judged by results. Woman should be judged by how kind she is, how compassionate she is, how loyal, feminine, humble, how good of a wife she is, how good of a cook she is, how good of a wife and mother she is. And so that's what you need to start letting go and shedding off. And that's why when I go to school to pick up our son, oh, I feel so overwhelmed seeing how teachers are constantly screaming at him and kids. And my son says, "Mom, teachers love daughters. They love girls in class, but boys, they're screaming at us because boys are naturally they're hyper, they're talkative, they're troublemakers. But because they're so masculine, they're working and overworking. They're now raising voice at girls sometimes, and mainly at boys all the time." And so boys and girls should not be even in school at the same time. There should be separate schools, and that's not the problem in our educational system. But going back to your question, is that you got to realize that going to school, being success and result oriented is all masculine energy. Your job is to shed off this masculine energy through spiritual practices and become a woman. You were born as a girl. And when we're born as a girls, we're wise, we're gentle, we're humble, we're kind. That's what men value. That's what society is needed. Because right now in the world, we have a lot of masculine energy and very little feminine energy. Not mothers. We have lovers who are walking around sexy with lips, with fake this, fake that, Botox, plastic surgery, liposuctions, fake breasts, fake this and that. And come on, it's all sex driven. Again, masculine energy. And women are gone. Feminine women are gone. They're extinct like elephants. Elephants get killed every 15 minutes, and we women, we are extinct. And so we need to go back to what we were born as and not going against our nature. Uh, my friends, I understand you want to talk to me, but let's do it possibly later, okay? Because I have to answer questions. So one more question from YouTube. My partner is a provider, but he does not compliment me ever. But he will talk about other women and how their hair or outfits is beautiful. What do? I told him it hurts, but he says takes care of me. Yeah, when a man doesn't understand woman at all and her nature, he could say things like that, and he doesn't even understand the damage that he caused to a woman. Because if a man looks at other woman, if a man makes a comment about other woman, even if she is a celebrity from Hollywood in front of her, he damages her self-esteem. And so when a man does this like that, you distant yourself. You said that many times that it hurts you, and if he doesn't hear you, you cannot continue cooking for him, doing laundry for him, and sleeping with him until he realizes that it hurts you. Men talking to men, 90% it's pointless. Man looks at action and not talk. Talk is cheap to a man. And so when you're distant and you start having business kind of relationship, and if he doesn't change, maybe you start to reconsider what's going on. What are you doing wrong? Because you're dealing with low self-esteem. And at this point, you maybe need a therapist, or definitely start also spiritual practices in order to heal, because a man like that damages your self-esteem. It's not helping you, and it's not helping your marriage. So I hope that helps, and I'm sorry to hear that you're dealing with that, because it's very, very painful. Typically passive aggressive men do that, hoping that maybe you will change, you will become beautiful like this other women, or you're going to wear outfits, but it never works. It's the same thing if a woman will say, well, I don't like the way you make love to me. That's to a man is very, very painful. And so men supposed to know what they can say and what they can't say, and women should know as well. And your husband just doesn't know. Lack of education. But at the same time, my friends, that's why dating's supposed to be 6 months or longer to understand, okay, is your man treating you with kindness, love, and respect? Is he willing to change for you? And you shouldn't get married to a man who looks at other women or compliments other women to you, because I'm certain at some point he was doing that while you guys were dating. And so again, men cannot, or a woman cannot hide their negative qualities for 6 months. 2, 3, 4 months later, it starts showing up. And that's why don't have sex with men and women until you fully understand them. Who are you truly dating? Thank you for a rose. So I hope that helps, my friends. I really love what you're saying. Very good advice. Thank you, my friends. How about men? We don't plan dates, and are generally very unmotivated. Thank you. Yeah, I understand, because right now men are having a hard time dating women, because women are so materialistic, and so masculine. Either they're materialistic and want all of the niceties from a man, and they use and abuse a man, or women are career driven, independent, radical feminist, equality seekers, and men are very confused. And so I understand that for men right now, dating is not attractive. And plus, men are very scared because they see other friends who got through divorce and they got their kids away and everything, their property away, even though if a man truly is masculine, he would want to take care of his ex-wife, even if it didn't work out. But at the same time, men have their also fears. And so, unless you are fully masculine and work on yourself, you already succeeded in your career. You go to the gym, you're working out, and you fully respect yourself and you're financially set. Yes, if you don't have this confidence, you will be attracting this masculine women, or women who want to use you and abuse you, I'm sorry to say, meaning they would want to go to lunches and dinners for you to pay, and then if they don't like it, bye bye. And so also why it's important for men to grow and succeed in order to start looking and checking and seeing and dating feminine women. And again, there's only 10% of feminine women out there and 10% of masculine men, and they are attracting each other. It's like creator God himself put them together. And if you're not masculine man, you're not provider and protector, you haven't healed, you're not going to attract her. And same thing with women. If you haven't healed and if you're not feminine woman, you're not going to attract provider and protector. You're going to only attract feminine men who will depend on you and would want you to take care of them on top of it. Yeah. Yeah. That's that's the problem, current problem. How do you gradually become vegan? That's a good question. First of all, to become vegan, it's a gradual process. First, you stop eating beef. Then you stop eating lamb. Then you stop eating turkey and chicken, and only then you stop eating eggs. And through spiritual practice, if you, let's say, for example, doing yogi philosophy and spirituality, if you're doing other spiritual practices from India, they're mostly vegan. And as you are listening to or reading the spiritual books, you understand why is it important. I will explain a little bit more now. When a cow or chicken get killed, all of their anxiety and fear is in their body. And then we as a human beings eating them, and their anxiety and fear is in us. And this is how we're accumulating bad karma. And in yogi spirituality and philosophy, one of the first foundations and principles is not to harm anybody, not to harm man, not to harm woman, not to harm yourself, not to harm kids, not to hurt anybody, including animals. And so the more you study spiritual practices, the more you understand how important it is what you think, what you say, what you eat, because our body is the temple of our soul. And when we're eating meat, we are trashing our body. We're hurting our body, because then we're really saying that it's okay to murder and kill other animals. But this is a long process. It took me 3 years. And so don't expect that you will be able to become vegan overnight. Some people, it takes them 6 months. That's amazing. But it took me a while. So, really good question. How only object masculine men who are ready for marriage, but I'm confused because they are so NIC. Friends, I'm not from United States. English is not my native tongue. So when you use abbreviation, 99% of them, I don't know. So I don't know what NIC. So please ask me that question again. Thank you. I like your videos. I was feminine. Watching your videos made me more feminine. You're welcome. That's wonderful. So it's better in UK. Hold on, let's see if you have other question. What if he wants me to work in a job which is not stressful? Told him I want to stay home. Give me 1 second, my friends. You see, you cannot change a man and expect him to change overnight. And if your husband is asking, I would like for you to work part-time, do it. Yes, do it. But if you're going to start doing the spiritual practices and you're going to become truly humble, feminine, and kind, and he'll see the benefit. Because what happens? As I quit my job 2 years ago, everything that I was making, after 3, 4, 6 months, my husband's income started to go up. How men make more income is when you're loyal. You're not thinking about other men. You're not thinking about even the actors who are in the movie about them. You're never thinking about cheating. You're appreciating them. And the more you're feminine, the more they're starting to make more income. And so once he gonna see the value and appreciate you being feminine, he gonna let go of that idea. You just work part-time. Okay, he wants you to work part-time. Do the part-time for him. And he will back off because he's feminine. And as you're gonna become more feminine, he's gonna start shifting in being masculine. Okay? Don't battle your man. Don't battle. How can you encourage a man to be more romantic? Friends, my husband is not a romantic man. He's not. I'll be just honest. He is the most amazing, wonderful husband and father to our son. You gotta get romantic men are the ones who are talking and promising you things, but they're not action oriented. They're not providers and protectors. You see those romantic movies where a man is like Richard Gere with Pretty Woman, and he's romantic and he's a billionaire and he does all of the things. It's all in the movies. In the real world, there's a man who are good talkers who are promising a lot of things, and they're romantic and sexy, but they're not a provider and protectors, and they're not husband material, or they're men who are quiet, but they work, they provide, they lead, they protect, they're decision makers, and they're good husbands and father to kids. And so you gotta choose which one you want. But all men and all women One, like this good woman and bad woman in one. She's sexy and she's kind and compassionate and humble and loyal in one. No, you gotta choose. Either you want romantic, sexy man who is charismatic and good talkative and romantic, or you want a provider protector. But there's no one. You cannot make them one. So yeah, yeah. How do I get my man to care for me and spend money on me? He doesn't care. I do everything for myself. I share that. Become a feminine woman. Start appreciating him, acknowledging him, even for little things. For little things. And he's gonna start feeling good. For example, maybe once a year for Valentine, he bought you this teddy bear or little box of chocolate. And you say, "Oh, this is my favorite chocolate. This is my favorite teddy bear. Thank you so much. It makes me feel so special. I feel like a little girl. It makes me like little princess." And you acknowledge him. And then he'll feel, "Oh, it feels so wonderful that you like the chocolate and teddy bear," right? And now it's in his mind that giving you gifts make him feel good. And so, for example, when my husband takes me shopping, obviously, husbands don't like to sit down and wait until you're changing clothes. I just go up by. But then I come out and say, "Look at the sexy dress." And I walk around and say, "Honey, only you buy such a beautiful, sexy dresses. I love you. I feel so sexy and beautiful," and etc. And I acknowledge. And he feels like, "I gotta take my wife to shopping again." And then it ends up in a really good, sexy time. And that's how man feels like, okay, shopping, clothes, acknowledgement, sexy time at night. And then he wants to do more. And so that's how you motivate a man to buy you things. But if you're just complaining, "He doesn't buy me things, he doesn't buy," and you're upset and you're frustrated and you're demanding and you have a hidden agenda, when will he buy? None of that is motivating. Start acknowledging, build his confidence that it feels good to buy you things. Yeah, that's how it's done. Okay, I live in Germany and I know that my provider man is not in Germany. I plan to move. Great, great. However, did you spend enough time living in his town for months or two? Did he live with you in Germany to get to know you well? Because if you just been dating online, that's not a real relationship. So of course, man not gonna move for you, you should move there, but you should take it slowly, maybe live 2-3 weeks at a time and then a month at a time, and see, do you actually get along with this man who is not in Germany? And then once you get a ring, then you can move. Yeah. My partner says he provided through his. My partner says he provides through his pension. How can I push him to work? My friends, don't push man. Don't push man. Your job is to observe how he does it, and all you can do is influence. But influencing happens only if you're feminine. If you want more, that means you're sending the message who you are is not enough. And that kills any motivation to a man. You gotta start accepting what is. And when you accept him, when you acknowledge him, when you appreciate him for what he already does, then, as you're becoming feminine and start slowly influencing him and acknowledging him, maybe he would want to do more. But again, if he's already in his pension, the chances that he will change are very slightly. That means you have to be like Virgin Mary herself in order for him to go work if he's already retired. So, date other men and see. Maybe other men are willing to provide more. But again, men will provide and give you more only if you're truly feminine. Yeah. You're amazing. Thank you for all your advices. You're welcome, my friends. He refuses to put her name on deed after 5 years of paying towards mortgage. Is this wrong? Hmm. For example, my friends, we have a house, and I was working back then, and I put down payment. First year, I was helping my husband maybe 20% to help him a little bit financially because I was not 100% certain about feminine and masculine myself. But I don't count that, my friends. If you are thinking, "I need a prenup because I'm not sure what will happen in 5 years. That means you're worried about divorce. Divorce will happen. If I need to be on a deed because I don't know if divorce will happen, I'm not going to get a house. Divorce will happen. I'm not on a deed and I'm not worried because I'm certain that even if something not going to work out with my husband will do everything to provide for me, even if we go through separation or divorce. But this certainty doesn't come from my husband or me. It comes from above. That means you're lacking trust because you are not doing any kind of spiritual practices and you're living in fear. And my friends, if you think that men are cheaters, liars, and they're going to cheat you on money, they will divorce you. When you're going to get a cancer, they will leave you. They're going to leave you because they're going to find 25 years younger woman. It will happen. You got to stop this nonsense because when you are doing spiritual practices and believing universe, God or creator himself, none of this nonsense will happen. It's our society is oh, permeated with this fear. And we gotta start detaching that. None of this is happening. Divorce is not happening. You are not dying. He's not dying. So live your life and enjoy being at home. I'm living at home. I'm not on a deed. I never think about it. I'm just being a good wife and being a good mother and really acknowledging my husband. And fears like that never crosses my mind. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. Stop living in hypothetical fears. And all of that not happening fear right now, it's hypothetical fear. But if it's really that important to you, once you become really truly spiritual and feminine, you can gently say, honey, I don't know why, but it truly bothers me and I would really love to be on a deep. But you should ask that maybe 2, 3 years later when you are really spiritually awakened. And if it still bothers you and you got permission from above to ask this husband, you do that. Yeah. Otherwise, stop this fear virus, okay? Because it is virus. Stop thinking that men are bad. Because if you think their men are bad and they're abusive and they will leave you and they will dump you and they're not going to take care of you, they will not. Yeah. And same thing for men. We got to stop thinking that we're bad. You yet live the narcissist to start a new life being my healing journey, yet I'm still alone all the way. Why? I'm assuming you're saying that you were in a relationship with narcissists. By the way, my friends, we attract in the past or in the present narcissists, which I really don't like talking about disorders. Because once you start being in the spiritual world, we got to detach from calling people with their disorder. And we're attracting people with addiction, people with disorders, only because we deserve them. And what do I mean by deserve them? They are here to teach us lesson. Because if you had a narcissist in the past or in the present or in the future, that means you got to work on your self esteem. You got to learn to detach from emotional or physical or some kind of abuse or learn how to put the boundaries. So you cannot really judge men are bad, men are narcissists. I had this, I had that. All that means you got to continue to heal. And once you heal, you're going to attract emotionally healthy men because narcissists attract only narcissists or codependents. Once you're going to become happy, emotionally healthy, that's when you're attracting emotionally healthy and happy person. And most of the time we're thinking, let me attract someone in order to use them to heal and be happy. But it never works. We need to enter the relationship already emotionally healthy and happy. Yeah. Good question. My friend moved in with her boyfriend. He owned home. They got married, been married 5 years. Oh, I guess that's what you mean about the deed. I love this lady so much. Trust her with my life. Oh, thank you. You're 100%. I love my stay home wife. Beautiful. Yeah, acknowledge her because she is rare, very rare. Providers and protectors are rare, and stay home mom and stay home wives are very rare nowadays. Never depend on men financially. If you break up with him, you won't have no money. If you think like that, it will happen. Absolutely. Because our thoughts create our reality. This is 5,000 saying from yogis and spiritual gurus. It's been going on for 5,000 years. They've been saying, if your thoughts give you your reality. If you think all men are liars, you will be attracting liar. If you think men are abusers, you will be attracting abusers. If you think men are cheaters, you will be attracting cheaters. If you think they'll leave you with no money, they will leave you with no money, because your beliefs, your mind gonna be attracting them in order to prove that your story, your interpretation of what happened in the past with your parents, with your friends, or your exes, true. And you need to prove that this is correct. So be very careful to what you're thinking. And thank you for the rose. Let's see more questions from YouTube. Let's see. I get dressed up and I do my hair and makeup all the time, but no compliments. Okay, got it. I answered your question earlier. Alisa, but even good men are not perfect. When they see you're fully dependent on them financially, they sometimes manipulate you. Again, if you think men are manipulators, you will be attracting manipulators. Again, you have to get, my friends, whatever you think of men, you will be attracting them or you will make them this way. I don't have this problem with my husband. I don't have this fear with my husband because I overworked it with myself. The more you connect to creator, the more those kind of fears go away. So you just have to stop stop relying so much on yourself and your husband and what's going on with your girlfriends, because society is not healthy. And if you're going to look at your masculine girlfriends, yes, their husband dominating and manipulating, their husband divorcing and leaving maybe with them with nothing, maybe they're cheating and etc. But if you're going to be in a spiritual community, you're never going to meet people like that. Or if they had that, they overcame, forgive their exes, and they're living completely different lifestyle. But you have to attract people to yourself who are really committed on working on themselves. And so, my friends, our thoughts gives us what we have in life. And if you have those fears, yes, you will be attracting and making sure that things like that going to continue happening to you. You're right, Alisa. I want to know about what to do in this scenario. When is the right time for marriage? I feel like I'm too young, but I am in a long relationship. How can I become feminine? Oh, okay, so it's a different questions. How can I become feminine, support her masculine man while going through financial hardship? How can a feminine woman support her masculine man while going through financial hardship? Okay, first of all, feminine woman never supports her masculine husband. Masculine husband will never even um, accept a woman's help. My husband this year, I'll be honest, is going through financial difficulties. Do you know what I do? I pray more. I do meditation more. That's what I do. And when he comes home, sometimes he says, well, today was a really great day. He never complains. But sometimes when he has a good day, he's like, today was a great day. And I know that's how I am really supporting and helping him, because all of the financial aspects of your husband is coming not from him, it comes from you. This is how a woman truly helps a man. When she prays or meditates or does the affirmation, God is giving blessing and gives him the money. But again, each person is born and, for example, some of you are born and will get only $1 million per life. Some of you are born will get $20 million per life. And if you want to get $25 million, you might work and get those $25 million. But I promise you, this $5 million, then you're going to be spending on health, physical, emotional, on yourself or your children, because you won't be able to get more than you deserve. Some people who are wealthy this life is because they have done good deeds in their previous lives. And I understand if you're Christian, it's hard for you to understand this concept. But in my spiritual practices, this is what I'm learning for the past 10 years. We had past lives. And if we did good deeds in the past life, we're going to be financially set this life. We're going to have a good husband because it's also good deeds from previous life. If we were abusive and if we were negligent to people and hurting them financially, for example, maybe you were a plantation owner and you were hurting slaves, you were not giving them money, in this life, you're going to be really struggling financially. And so we have to be responsible not only to what we're doing in this life, but we have to be responsible to also start clearing our karmas from previous life. And that's why when you do the prayer or meditation, without even realizing, you're clearing your past lives and your karmas from this life. And so stop helping your husband financially. If he's really struggling in New York City and he's a police officer, okay, if you're living there, you have to stay there because you have many relatives who help you with kids. Go work part time. But ideally, the best way you can help is by doing the spiritual practices. That's how you can appreciate him. That's how you can stay a feminine woman. And he's going to start getting either bonuses or going to start climbing the ladder at work to make more money. It's not our duty to help him to pay bills. So I want you ladies to understand this law. It's a universal law that we lost it. And somehow in United States, nobody is taught that. It's very theoretical, even when we go to churches, but no practical. And that's why I love when people go to churches, but if they don't have daily relationship with God, it's pointless, because once a week going for 1 hour and listening to a priest or pastor is not enough. You gotta learn and understand how Creator works, how He wants you to connect with Him. And it doesn't matter in which faith, whether you're Muslim or Christian, you gotta do the practice. You gotta seek Him. And then He's gonna start opening the door for you to understand how the universe, how life actually works. So I hope that helps. Really good question. And thank you for hearts and your roses, friends. All right, let's see. Happy Black History Month. Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Is there such a thing as soulmates? No, my friends. Uh, mm, if I'm going to use spiritual practice, a little bit of knowledge, I'll tell you. Yes, in Bhagavad Gita and in some of the Indian spiritual practices, it says that yes, we do have a soulmate, but do you know who deserves and gets soulmate? Gods. Yes, because it's not a Christian spiritual world. If you really pray every day to God, then He, um, a woman like that, gonna attract someone who is God Himself to get married. Otherwise, for us in the material world to get a soulmate because we're really hoping to get the perfect person, no, it's impossible. We really get who we deserve, and we actually get a partner to pass our exam and test in life, because marriage is not for truly happiness. Yes, you experience